Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Numerology Alumni session, the first of many. I want to do this like a good solid once a month, where I come and connect free of charge for the people inside of my business, for you guys, my clients, and also really to help. Oh, to help me, deliver this message to people. This has a double-edged sword here, okay? On one side of our time together, you guys get a chance to express, share your stories with us. Hey, Tanis, welcome, welcome. What's up? I'm just allowing you to record in case you cannot record. You're on the, where is Tanis? I'm allowing to record for Tanis. So on one side of this, we're going to get a chance to showcase your guys' growth, showcase your story. You get a chance to brush up on your people skills. I'm not sure in your part of the world if they have things like Toastmasters, but this is like an open forum to help let you speak on your power and help you speak on the worth that you have to give to the planet. Whatever it is that I've helped you guys to do, or that you've awoken within yourself, I'm met here with a lot of powerful people, and I appreciate you guys being in my life so much for everything. So on one side, we're going to showcase your guys' story. You get a chance to speak into whatever it is that has happened for you as a result of our time together. And then on the other side, it's going to get super selfish for a second. I get a chance to use this and repurpose this for media. There's a lot of people out there who are looking at this kind of like, what is it that you're doing here? Like, people talk really highly about this. What's going on inside of this time together? And this is where I'm relying and I'm leaning heavily on you guys to really share that love with us all. So I appreciate you, Craig, Tanis, Julie, Marilyn, for joining us and for being here. If other people come on and they want to be part of this, it's all good. But I really wanted to, I wanted to thank you guys so much, first of all, for trusting me with your dollars. You guys bought sessions with me, trusting me with, like your story, your chart. I know for some of us, it's been pretty insane, the things that you've gone through in life, and to think that you're standing here now and you're offering this now to, I know that like Tanis, Craig, you guys have gone on to create businesses around yourselves. And I mean, we're all entrepreneurs.
Is it too late for a refund?
My cheeky little brother. I appreciate that. Yes, it's too late for a refund. But yeah, next time, man, next time. But I love and appreciate you guys like family. If you guys meet my kids, it's Uncle Craig, it's Auntie Tanis, Auntie Marilyn, Auntie Julie. Okay, like there's a value inside of what you guys have done for me in my life. I would give you a refund, but he ate it already. So, like what you guys have done for me in my world, it's more than just a business. We went into your charts, we went into your birthdays together, and I would be so super honored that you guys would want to share your side of the story, what's happened for you, what it led to, what things have went down. Because when we do this, guys, we're shifting universal energies. If you don't recognize that, like there's something in there that you really have to pay attention to know that there is something bigger to you and your vision, your purpose, than just getting a job and doing the humdrum and the daily life, that kind of stuff. You're here to help affect others. So I appreciate you guys so much. I'm among a league of extraordinary souls. And for each individual reason, I appreciate you guys so much. Julie, Marilyn, you guys gave me powerful testimonials. Craig and Tanis, you guys have been there for me during times of my need. And I hope that 10, 15 years down the road, that we're all hugging, singing, laughing together, that we've become like very powerful, successful. Yes, this big, huge kumbaya feeling where we're all together, we're helping more people, impacting more. So what I want to do, the whole point, the whole reason of this was to give you guys a chance to speak. I want to ask some questions. You guys may also have questions for me about your charts. If you guys feel like you want to use this space to get a little one-on-one with Bobby, hey Bobby, what do you think about this? I don't mind to do that. However you feel the space is going to be taken care of. But I would love to hear you guys have that value or that speak. I'm just going to see here. Julie, looks like you went onto your laptop. So in case you want to record this, you'll be able to record something for yourself as well. And with that, what I want to do is I'm going to go down in order. So Tanis, you're first. You're up. Everyone else is muted. So Tanis is a good friend of mine. And I'm not going to tell everybody about your story, but what I will tell for people is that when we got a chance to meet, there was a lot of close people inside of your life that had all done their exit from this planet in a very short amount of time, and you were like the processor of all of everyone's energy, and that can be a lot to take, which immediately made me admire you of your strength, your spiritual connection to the veil. And then it got a little bit further because we got a chance to meet and hang out in Vegas, and you dawned light on me as a parent and as a teacher to help me improve my relationship with my children and to be a more responsible human being. So thank you so much, Terrence, for that. You're always going to be a part of my heart and a part of my life, part of my family. How are you?
I am doing amazingly well, considering.
Good to hear that.
I value everything that we chatted about, that we talked about, that you taught me, everything that was in my numbers, in my birthday, my name. It's all seeming to fall into place over time. Sometimes I may not know it until it happens, and then I realize, like, hey, we talked about that. So yeah, a lot has changed since we've done our numbers and had our sessions. And the big thing was getting through all the grief and realizing that I kept wondering, why is this happening to me instead of for me? And it took a long time, a while, to realize that it was happening for me so that I could learn, because I had so many things that I was so afraid of that I didn't even realize I was afraid of, and I had to deal with. So having our sessions really helped me understand why I was losing so many people in such a short period of time. Like, I'd lost a friend to suicide and found his body, and I had to deal with that. And the next month, my father was hit by a truck, and a month after that, he passed away. 6 months after that, my uncle passed away the day after my dad. 6 months after that, my mom passed away. 3 months after that, my cousin. And then I had a friend who passed away shortly after that, after I'd taken time to take her to Tijuana and go for cancer treatments. We really thought that this was going to work. And I really believe I was meant to be on that journey with her, because I was there to, not to help her. I was basically there for palliative care and to help her through the realization that this wasn't going to happen for her, and that we would have to come back to Canada and she would have to prepare everything to die. And so I basically watched her die as well. And those were some of the hardest times I'd ever gone through. And it's made me realize what grief was all about. The journey, I had a journey through grief, like mega journey. And I had to learn how to take the nightmares, the patterns, the pictures, the videos in my head, that every time I would discuss these things would go off and I would be a mess. And so through my journey and through all the things that Bobby and I had discussed, led me to taking courses and to taking workshops, and for me to help myself through that grieving process and to understand what my fear truly was. And my fear was of death, and I needed to learn that death was not something to fear, because when we're born, we're already dying. And that was a hard thing to swallow. And before, I couldn't smile about losing my parents. I mean, I have such gratitude for, having my parents in my life. I'm so happy that I was able to be their daughter and to learn all the things that I learned from them. But in their death, I was also learning. And so now it sits with me better. And I don't feel that sadness. I don't feel that grief. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have moments where, I miss my mom, or I miss my dad, or I miss my friend. But those were the hardest things I'd gone through. And Bobby was there. He was there for me to explain to me that, you know, I was meant for bigger things. And through all that process, I building my business in affiliate marketing and all the personal growth, I was able to realize that I had the courage and the confidence to actually reach out and decide. And I say decide because I think I had a hard time making decisions. To decide that I was worthy of having a life coaching business and a business mentorship program because I'm a qualified, trained life coach, certified, and I have been for the last 7 years, but never had the confidence to actually build my business, to reach out to people and give them coaching. And I'd been doing it for the last 7 years for free to my friends, to my family, to people who reached out to me and things like that. And I thank you, Bobby, for making me realize that my life was so much bigger than what I was looking at just by having that session, changing my name, putting that letter in my name, allowing me to see what my true worth is and my true abilities, that I have gifts to offer, and so does everyone else. Every one of us has a gift that we are born to share. And so many of us hide it and we don't share it. And that's a real shame because we all have something special to share with others. And I didn't realize that until after we'd had our session and read my 72 pages. And I know there's so much more that I can work on and work towards my goals. But I've developed my website. I even had my first real client from Australia, and that was pretty cool. And she's planning on taking my program. I have a 6-week program and a 12-week program, and I design them to each individual person. It's not the same thing for everyone. It depends on what your issue is and where your problem is. And I don't give advice, but I allow you to open up through a series of practices and questions that you have your own advice and your own answers within yourself. And what might take you a year or two to figure out on your own might take 3 months with a life coach. And so that is my gift I want to share with others so that others actually see their own true potential within themselves and they're able to move forward and share with others. So yeah, Bobby, thank you. Like I have so much gratitude. So much.
Me too. I appreciate that. Just remembering what you went through, the amount of strength that you have. And I'm most of my, actually, you guys are all pretty spiritual, so I don't feel kind of weird saying this because I usually get this spiritual when I talk to people. Those exits in your life were preparing you for how close you need to be for the veil. You have spiritual soul squad helping you move energies for people. Please don't, I would, the part of me that's small would beg you to not let that gift go to waste. And then the part of me that's big is to say, she's doing this for a purpose. She's creating her brand for a purpose, and you are not letting it go to waste. You are capitalizing on the challenge and the things that have happened to you to help those who are still in need of you. And I'm super blessed for you. So thank you so much. I consider you a friend and a family, and forever, absolutely forever. So I appreciate that, and also for coming on and sharing us the story. It's
That's
nuts.
Amazing, Tanis.
Thank you.
My late addition to our team, of course,
Oh,
my
great.
Sally. She actually, and a perfect segue here. And if you guys feel like you want to chime in or jump in, by all means, go ahead and feel free to unmute yourselves. Tanis, I can't wait to see what happens next. I cannot wait to see what goes on next. Just keep your mind open to the fact that the universe has everything lined up and planned in for you, and that you've got spiritual backup from people who are very close to you who want to help see you move forward. So congratulations on getting your business off the ground. You absolutely deserve it. And I can vouch for you on that. You let me know where I can give you a review or a testimony for your value that you've given to me in my life. But thank you for that. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Cool. So Sally, now this one you guys maybe may or may not know. This woman in my life, she is the queen, mother of my child, and I get a chance to build a family with her. I met her in a dream 6 months before I met her. When I met her, I did her numerology, and I was like taken back, thinking we should be together.
So you could use numerology for dating as well.
I did, and it's the worst thing to do because you
To make
learn.
sure that she's the right one.
And this is how I knew she was the right one, and how I knew every other girl I was interested in wasn't the right one. So when I get a chance to meet her, I was like, I can't not follow my heart. She's gone on to take on a legal name change. I'm looking through you guys. None of you guys have taken legal name changes, and I don't blame you. That's a pretty big thing. Even Julie saying, that's amazing, Tanis. So happy for you. Craig says big love. Absolutely big love for Tanis.
So how does it work to do your name change? Like for mine, I changed my name with the S from Sophie in it. So can I just start writing my name like that? Because technically it's part of my name. It's just not.
Yeah, but when you pay your taxes and you go for the passport and you take a driver's license, it doesn't say S, it says Sophie.
Yeah, I guess so.
So technically it does work. It is authentic, but it's just as authentic as Bobby F. Perryhar. My name is actually Belmont Francisco Perryhar. So it's not quite the same.
But it works better by using it just the S, right?
If you just use the S, you're in a solid zone. Like this is and we looked at it. Could have been the letter J. With a name like Sophie, it would make more sense to take the letter S.
Figure, Chris, you would pick Gertrude because it's like in French is Gertrude.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, oh no, please don't.
Yeah,
But,
right.
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and then my other question that I was wondering is that how many times do you realign yourself? Like, or do you just realign it once and then you align for a while, or do you need realignment when, like, because I know that if I do get married and I do change my last name, you told me to come back in for an alignment.
Yeah.
So that I'm aware of. But like once you're aligned, are you always aligned, or?
That's a really good question. I'm going to answer this because Sally had a name. She changed it legally, and she's going to change it again legally because we're getting married. I took a name. I haven't changed it legally. I'm going to take another name too. I thought that I was going to take one name and that was it. And I like to talk about those types of people. Then I like to think that we grow and we change. And I was even talking to Craig yesterday, and he was wondering, well, what's another vibe I can use of growing? And so I would like to think that you're in alignment for that vibe. But as soon as you get really good at it and you start to get to the next level, you may be looking at something else or another name or another version of you that absolutely expresses where you are now. Because your little ones aren't going to be so little in a couple of years. They're going to want boyfriends and girlfriends and cars and jobs.
It's turning 11 already.
See, 11, he probably already is like, Mom, I got a girlfriend. You're like, the hell you do? And so this feeling is going to say things like, okay, great. You may want to be a different style of parent, or you may get married and take a different name as well. What new vibration will you take on? I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. I can just read it like I call it. And I would say that you're probably going to go through a few. I would say that when you're going to get married, you're going to take a legal name change anyway. So if that happens in the near future, I'm not sure. Can you run with Julie S. Donnell right now? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let this thing run until you feel really comfortable with it. And if you need to make a shift, you can. But you'll be lucky that you didn't change your legal name if you were planning on changing again. So hopefully that answers the question.
Sure does. Thank you.
And Sally's in this situation right now. This is the love of my life. And when I took a look at her, I'm like, your name's not going to do, honey. We got to do something for you here. We're absolutely going to give you a new name that you can use. And she took on her old last name, so her maiden last name, and she put a letter in it, Sally E. Tadina, and she went legal. So she's got it on her stuff, her driver's license. And I'm like, that's a big move. And so I'd love for you, Sally, to share with everyone, what's your experience been inside of numerology? How did it affect you when I read it to you the first time? And how you've been able to sort of have an experience around it since then?
Yeah, so when we first met and you told me what your understanding of myself and my numerology, I was pretty surprised because you were really accurate. like you were telling me I was good with numbers, and I was doing accounting then, and you didn't know that. And I was very analytical, and knowing that helped me understand why, well, knowing my strength, and that I should do more of that, like being analytical. I should talk more about logic, a lot more logic, and knowing that he's more emotional and I'm analytical, so it helped me understand how to communicate with him. And ever since then, I legally changed my name. I have been like growing my business, growing myself. I see myself like always looking for opportunities to grow. And if there's anything that I forgot to mention, you can remind me as well. But yeah.
I would like to say that your voice got a lot stronger. You got a lot more power. This different string was starting to play in the sound of her voice. It wasn't just at the surface level. There was like an emotional awareness that sort of started to really grow underneath it.
Yeah.
Seeing you firsthand, I was like, she's growing into the business person that she wants to be. And that feeling is absolutely apparent in the way that your numbers show up. It's this business family, business family, business family, and you really hold them both, which is part of the reason why I gave you the name that I did. I had a strategy for the woman of my life, the woman I want to be with, that I would want to help you grow into the communication. So I love the fact that you've changed it, because next thing you know, you've been taking self-development courses, communication courses, hiring mentors, being able to actually go through yourself. And that wonderful feeling for me to think is like, well, she absolutely wants to grow and she wants to become successful because of this woman's presence in my life. And I like to say it's super biased because obviously we're kind of sleeping together. But the reality is that, she activated the success in my life. And I found her, and I found the confidence to follow my business full time, to build a family, to actually have the woman in my life show up. And because of that, I'm super grateful and thankful for you, for sure.
I'm grateful for you. And because of this, I felt more more connected to my soul.
It's taken us down a really cool road.
Yeah, it took me a while. It took a while for me.
You're not done.
And yeah, I'm not done.
We're still growing.
I'm not done. Yeah, definitely not.
We're never done. Like she says, she tells me all the time, you're either growing or you're dying. I'm like, oh, that's so true. It's just so true. You're either growing or dying. And she's a really big supporter of that. What advice would you give to someone who doesn't know their numbers or is feeling like they need some clarity in their life and that this would give it to them?
My advice would be to have a session with you, because to understand yourself will really help you become successful in all areas of your life, especially in business. We're all in business here. So like you could get lost if you don't know. It's like not knowing where to go and how to get there. You could get stuck somewhere and you just don't know where you're going. You're going to get lost. So knowing where this is like your GPS. So knowing where you need to go, and there's no there's shortcuts, but
I think this is as good as a shortcut as you're going to get, but actually like manipulating the numbers in your name to help you manifest the desire you're looking for. But yes, Julie says, I'm working on getting a good one-on-one session with me. Julie, you let me know. Let's just do it. Okay. Like I offer payment plans. You can pay me when you're super successful. Doesn't matter. Let me invest in your life and in your business. So in case you guys are like, I want to work with this guy, by all means, I'm here for you guys. I will absolutely take a rain check and I'll bill you in 30 days. Whatever shows up, whatever you need, let's work on your success today. So super cool. Anything?
Yeah, and also I've taken your course so many times. So every time you have the mastery course, I take it with them. And that helped me understand other people as well. Like a better understanding of numerology. I don't do it for work, but when I meet somebody, I can just tell.
And it makes it easier to have conversations with her because now she can speak the language. So in case anyone's like, well, what do you guys do? This is so crazy. I actually teach people how to read the numbers, and it's a 4-day intensive. So we do go through a lot of stuff, but to know this language, it's another really sharp tool in your repertoire. Whether you're someone like Craig who works things in the shaman realm, like I want to bring Craig out next when I talk about him. But if either that, or for certain people who are like, hey, I just need to add this to my coaching repertoire. But knowing numbers and knowing how to speak in them, it really brings the math out of spirituality and into the world. But even down to my little boy, I gave you a really good name, a really solid name, so that when this little guy grows up, he's got the best of all worlds in communication and love and power that shows up inside of his name. Like, I'm responsible for bringing this little boy. Like, look at him, how so cute he is. Like, look at how cute his little face is. He's just happy to be here, and to know that I played a really strong part in not screwing him up, at least on that day one, where we get him a good name. What happens
Even
after
before he
that?
was born,
Even
right?
before he was born, yeah. What happens after that? Hey, daddy's growing. I get you. But the reality is, when he first shows up, I set him right in life by giving him a name that's super solid and super powerful. So Crazy gets it from his mom.
Aw, thank you.
Hey, he's got both of. Never mind. You know what?
He's
Fine.
got both of ours.
I'm just gonna let Craig poke fun at me all day long. It's all good. Speaking of this guy, I don't even know how to explain this. We were doing our session first time. Okay, first time I met him, and then after he's like, "You're doing something more than what you're doing, you know. Like, this isn't just like numbers. Like, you got something else going on here." And he's like, "You're pulling it from like let go of the need for that front end business and bring in the spiritual energy from behind you, beneath you, or within you, and let that vibe flow out. Like, this is something so much more clarity than just numbers." And I was just like, wow, that's some powerful advice. I kept a hold of him. He's a good person. And, I got a chance to meet him. It was great hugs. He was poking fun at me from day one. And like, we got a chance to meet. It was big hugs. And like, the way that guys can have friends with each other. So I got a chance to meet him, and the space and the energy that he held was second to none. So when I found out that he was starting his own practice, his own spiritual movement business, whatever you want to call it, energy healing, energy unblocking, energy reading, I'm not even sure what to call it, but it felt like he left Australia and I left Canada, and then we went into the astral, and he basically like cleaned me up, and he helped me get through some things and helped me become aware of some energies, and basically lifted some of them for me that I felt like I couldn't even lift. And it was crazy because he put this A in his name, or first it was the J. It wasn't strong enough. Then it was the A. He put the A in his name, and that looked like Julie's question. It was like, look, do you move around a bit at all? Like, yeah, you do. Sometimes the name doesn't fit or fit for very long, and you need to get it moving forward to the next level. So we like the fact that happened, because since then, this guy's been he's gotten a chance to speak on webinars for like thousands of people. Get a chance to help hundreds of, like, not sure hundreds, but you're getting there very quickly. And that feeling of you being of value to others in your own personal business makes me feel like I was there. I saw it. I knew it. I called it, that he's going to be something really powerful and really big. Even to the point when I was in Australia, he's like, bro, I got you. I'm going to hold some space for you. I'm going to anchor you down a little bit. Just go in there and breathe from the heart and do this. And he gave me this really powerful pep talk that really, it's like he penetrates and he goes inside of your soul, and you like it, and you like that feeling of him being there for you. And the way that he puts it is so powerful. Craig, I'm so glad that you decided to show up here and be with us and share a bit of your light. If you guys haven't, go and message this guy, work with him one-on-one, the same way you should absolutely take Tanis's program, that you should seek out individuals like this who are going to be there to help you through your journey as an entrepreneur and to help you get through some of the stuff you're going through. So Craig, I'd love to ask you a couple of questions. Tell us about your experience with me. What's happened for you since, the journey you've been on, maybe anything that's on your mind that you want to express. I'm going to unmute you here so that you can speak freely. How are you, my brother? Let's see. Can you do it or can I do it? Can you unmute yourself? Hey,
I got it.
Welcome, my good man.
How are you, everyone? Well, Bobby, I've heard you intro me now 3 or 4 times, and I love it every time, because every time it just gets more and more elaborate. And it's growing. It's growing, and it's just, I don't even know if I need to say anything. I think it's just, yeah, thanks, Bobby. That's it. Done. All good. No. So I came across Bobby's path through an online business network that I'm in. People starting to sing high praises for him, and my joining the business coincided with my my sort of aha moment, and the heavens parted kind of stuff, and And it was that quick for me, you know. Within the space of a few days, I was like a different person. It was pretty profound, and you know, and that has ramifications across the board. And you know, even my own kids, it's not like Bobby's kids, but my own kids now are looking at a dad who's different and talks different and hangs out with people differently and does things differently. You know, they knew him as a high school teacher, you know, and I've quit teaching now, and I was a teacher for 21 years, and now they're looking at me and it's like, well, how, you know, they get asked questions, how's your dad? What's he up to these days? And they're like, how the fuck do I answer that? Like that, because they don't even have a clue. It's so out there for them as well, and it's even out there for me, you know. But I've just surrendered to it. It's just that it's too powerful not to surrender to. One of the ways I talk about it is, you know, like I hope you don't mind, but when I'm sort of flowing and passionate, I swear a little bit. But it's like a genie, you know. The thing about genies is that once they're out of the bottle, then the fuckers just don't like going back in. You know, once you've had a taste of something, then you don't actually like going back to the way things used to be. And it's the whole up leveling, you know, and that's what. And to think that it's only happened over like 18 months has just been really phenomenal. So I was drawn to Bobby, found the money, had a session. Luckily for me, it was back before he was, you know, superstar, and you know, I could still afford his prices. But yeah, I basically came to Bobby, and Bobby was one of the first 2 or 3 people to really to give me a guiding hand. And the way I talk about Bobby, this is my story, and it doesn't elaborate too much. It's sort of still the same. But my experience with Bobby was that it was like my life was a jigsaw puzzle, and it was still in the box. You know, and you don't even necessarily know what the picture on the front of the box is. It's like there isn't even a photo there. You might have glimpses of the past yourself, but you don't even know what the future is supposed to look like, or what your puzzle's supposed to be. And then all of a sudden, you know, you shake the box up, and you just unempty it, and it's on the table, and the pieces are all mixed up, and you get glimpses of little bits and pieces here and there. But basically, it's still just a jumble. It's still a puzzle. And what Bobby sort of does is, not only does he bring you back the box and then straighten the picture out and says, this is what your picture can look like, but then he also helps you to start to organize the pieces as well. And that's kind of what Bobby's like. And I was sort of blown away in that he could see numbers, and I just knew this was a part of my thing, I guess, that he was doing a lot more than just numerology, that he was, and I always describe Bobby now to people that I'm in contact with, that he's a powerful, intuitive numerologist. You know, I'd like to think that just like, and Tanis can probably agree with this as well, you know, with life coaching, with numerology, at a certain level, it's a skill. It's like, you know, reading cards. Anybody can get some tarot cards and just flip the next card and then, you know, look it up in the book and see what it's supposed to mean. It's, oh, well, that's what it means. The difference is that with someone like Bobby, it's not just a skill. It's literally, it's like he's injected into your life, and he can see through your numbers. He understands, and it's this deep empathy and a deep compassion, but it's also this ability to literally see your life. You know, the numbers are purely just metaphors. They're like little codes that actually unlock images and unlock people's realities. And so having just a few little truths even, you know, it's like a catalyst. You've got all your dominoes set up. I don't know if you guys have dominoes, but you've got all your dominoes set up. And, you know, it's like the little catalyst. It's like you just knock the first domino and then they all fall. And it's just ramifications. You know, take the lid off the bottle of wine and you just start pouring it out. It goes, just flows everywhere. It's catalytic. And that's kind of, it's funny that, it's not funny. It probably makes a lot of sense now that me coming in contact with Bobby and the way in which he was a catalyst for me is very much the way I'm a catalyst for a lot of other people as well. And I know that I just keep growing, and it's like a set of stairs, you know, you reach and you can, I can just get to that next step, and you pull yourself up. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, awesome. Oh, this is awesome being on this step. Think, oh, wait, but there's another step I can take. I can get even higher, or I can go to the next level. I can expand. I can be this. I can be this. I can be this. And it's not a problem unless it's a problem. You know, it's not a problem unless you're feeling that pull or you're feeling that state of contraction. You know, one of my mentors talks about the fact that you can't be in a state of contraction and expansion at the same time. It's one or the other. And how do you know when it's time? Well, you know it's time when you start feeling contraction. When you start feeling those low vibes, when you start feeling, you know, weighed down by stuff, then you know, okay, well, do I like feeling in this state of contraction, or am I ready now for expansion? You know, so Julie, that's a little bit like I'm at with my numbers. You know, I've gone through 2, and Bobby and I had a chat yesterday then again about what we might do about a 3rd version. Or I know that Bobby's also done readings for like business names, for example. So if you're about to do a new business launch, then you can get a reading done for a business launch name to see if that's going to fly before you even start launching your business. You know, what's the point of launching this new business if the energy around the name that you choose is literally, it sucks and it's just going to die. You know, you want to have the magic numbers around everything you're doing. So yeah. And I guess I've just grown since then, and yeah, it just keeps expanding. And I have a new appreciation. While I'm not a numbers guy, it's not quite how I work. I'm certainly an energy guy now, and I understand the way in which, you know, everything vibrates, and the numbers for Bobby are just vibrating, and he's reading the energy field of those numbers, and it's really powerful. And there's a lot of different ways that we can tap into that, and things are always, it's a really big universe. It's a really, really, really big universe. And you know, if you've ever seen, there's a documentary on Netflix called Heal, or if you've tapped into some of Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, the fact that the whole universe is literally energy. You know, we're not even solid. We're not. We think we're solid. We feel solid because there's resistance in the touch. You know, but we're not even solid. So I think the analogy is that if you look at the nucleus of a cell, or an atom, then the nucleus of the atom is like, if that's like an apple, then the next molecule that actually is surrounding that is about the size of a grain of salt. And it's about 2 kilometers away, so like a mile away. That's the scale that we're talking about. So there's all this massive void. There's this void that is just pure energy. That magnetism that literally holds everything in place and creates the pattern. The same way that numbers create patterns. The same way our names create patterns. Where it gets really trippy is that the actual stuff that we think matters is only something like 0.0000001% of everything that there actually is in the universe. But yet that's where we focus all our attention, on the physical stuff, like on how I feel, on what I'm surrounded with, my house, my car, you know, stuff, phone. This is all like, it's such an infinitesimal percentage of everything that there is. So what gets to happen if we even just take a tiny, minuscule more, a little bit more percentage of everything that there is in the universe and inject it into the stuff that we already think matters? How big does this little bit that we think matters get to grow and get to become? So if lining our name up creates an alternative vibration in our name that completely changes our vibration and our pattern and what we're potentially able to expand into, why the fuck wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? It's a big universe. It's a big universe. And that's, I've just got back from Costa Rica doing a quantum healing certification, and it's just like, you know, bye-bye Dorothy, we're not in Kansas anymore. You know, like it's the world changes. The world changes. And the more we allow, we talk about the field of endless possibilities, you know, that there's literally millions of opportunities and millions of possibilities. But we think that the one that we're on and who we are right now is the only one, is the one. It's the only one we know. But just because it's the only one we know, that means nothing. What gets to happen when we literally expose ourselves and open ourselves, we don't have to have the answers. We just say, I'm ready to see an alternative. I'm ready to be shown. I'm open to something bigger than me.
Hey Craig, what is it that you do for others? Like, can you kind of describe that to? I know Tanis is asking this, but like I'm like I don't even know how to explain it.
Um, the short answer, I don't know if you know this phrase, but in Australia there's a phrase called a piss take. A piss take is basically, you know, when you're joking with somebody, and this sounds a bit like a piss take, but in some ways, when people are drawn to me, I just know that I'm able to do whatever they need having done. It's that simple. It's the way it works. That their energy is magnetically drawn to me because they know that there's something about what I am capable of doing, even if I haven't worked it out yet, even if it's something brand new that just emerges. You know, can you do a house clearing for me? Well, you're asking, so the answer's yes. You know, it's that kind of stuff. It's a bit trippy, and so sometimes I'm even learning on the spot. It's like, well, it's just like I just get the fuck out of my own way, and I just let it come through. I mentioned the word earlier when I was talking about Bobby. The word catalyst for me comes up a lot. It's like an alchemical catalyst. If we're all energy, and this is how much energy my body can take up, then I'm using some of that energy to feed shielding, to feed limiting beliefs, to feed patterns of old beliefs that just don't serve me anymore, to feed negative emotions that I've held on to way too long. What gets to happen if I get to use that energy to do something else with? Instead of using that energy to contract, what gets to happen when I actually turn that around and use that same energy to expand with? And that's what I do for other people. And I switch this stuff on for them. I help them remove their blocks. Limited belief discovery. I talk about it like, it's a bit like, some of you might be a bit young, but it's like that movie Fight Club with Brad Pitt. It's a bit old now, I'm showing my age, but the first rule of Fight Club was that no one talks about Fight Club. And it's like the subconscious. The first rule of the subconscious is that no one actually gets to see their subconscious. It's like this defense mechanism that the first thing the subconscious does to protect you is that it protects itself. It's like, you know, your subconscious says, if you go out there and you walk amongst those lions are going to eat you. So you're scared of lions and you run away. Yep, safe. Woo, awesome. Yep, subconscious goes, yeah, good work. Told you. Knew that was right. And all of a sudden, if you have the ability to reprogram your subconscious anytime you wanted, you might have this epiphany. So, you know what? Lions are just misunderstood creatures. I'm going to go and make friends with the lions. And you know what? Lions love meat. So I'm going to dress up in this big T-bone steak suit just to show them that I come in peace. And I'm going to walk amongst the lions. And they go, hi, lions, I'm here to have friends and be friends. You know, let's make peace, not war. And the lions eat you. And your subconscious going, told you, should listen to me. Should listen to me. I was just trying to keep you safe. And here you go, just changing your plans and changing your beliefs. Now you're a mess. So the way the subconscious, to me, the way that comes through is that the first rule of the subconscious is that it hides itself and it protects you from being anything different than what it actually knows you to already be, even if it's messed up. Even if it's messed up. So the way I see my role is that I'm that catalyst that helps people discover what their beliefs are. But then since quantum healing as well, it's so much bigger than that. So much bigger than that. Even using simple processes like breathing as an actual energy source. You know, not just oxygen, but literally when you breathe in, you think, oh, like you feel the energy. It's like, where the fuck did that come from? It's literally it's around us. It's everywhere. You're breathing in energy, you know, and then when you actually exhale, you can literally exhale these old patterns that don't even serve you anymore. Just like you do carbon dioxide and other gases that your body doesn't need, we just get to attach emotions to it, old thought patterns, old belief systems. We just attach it to them. And there's a way that we guide people through it, and they're just left, and it's just like, how do you feel? I don't know. I just feel bliss. You know, yeah, it's amazing stuff. And that over a period of times, we just go and go and go and go, and even concepts of like longevity. You know, like Tanis has been faced with lots of realities around, you know, longevity. But even programming on things like how long we're supposed to live or how long we can live, or that, you know, we're never escalating. We're always, you know, like Tannis was even saying, once we're born, we're dying. You know, we can even challenge some of those notions and say, well, yeah, but you can grow until you die. You know, and if you decide that enough's enough, then yeah. And energetically, and it's really left field. Some of it's really amazing, but it's why some of the mentors that I've got in this field, you look at them and you just go, what? They radiate. You've ever seen people that you just look at them and you just go, they're just like, oh, how the hell are you doing that? And it's all about that energetic field expansion. Radiating internally, and then that radiates externally, and people can feel it and see it, and it becomes magnetic. And yeah, so I've kind of gone a roundabout of a way, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now, and I'm at the next level of me as well. And there's always a new level. There's always a new level of stuff. You know, always we get to expand, but it's never a problem unless it's a problem. When the contraction kicks in, that's when you know it's an opportunity to flip it around and become expansive. You got a choice. Expand or contract. Expand or contract. Yeah.
Thanks, Craig. I appreciate you, my brother. I love listening to this guy speak. It's absolutely crazy. And it just illuminates. Crazy to think what we have underneath us and how you can get through the BS and help people get through. So I will repeat, if you have not had the chance to sit one-on-one with this guy and pay for his service, I would absolutely recommend that you do this. I got a message here from Verity saying that she's got to get running. So I would love it quickly, Verity, if you want to just quickly dive in and just let us know in 60 seconds, 120 seconds before you got to go, what's the experience been like, the clarity for you, your team, the people who've been working with me. Would love to get your thoughts on this. Thank you so much for joining us before you run. See if I can unmute you. You're good.
I think I'm unmuted.
Hey.
Awesome. Hey guys, thank you. So since starting mine was a huge part of like self-love. And so that has something I've been working on super hard and making sure that I'm putting that as a priority first thing in the morning, as we discussed on the call. That was something that I've always known I need to work on, but this has just made me up level that to the next part. And it's also brought up a lot of shit as well. So stuff that I may have like pushed to the side and thought that I was cool with has like reared its head even more. But after I'm like, right, I've taken on this name, I'm pushing forward and I'm doing this. And the other day I was heading off to Bali and I was like, right, I've got to get out my report and just check what's happening in May. And Lynn and I'd booked like a session to do some videos for our business and get our online stuff up and running. And as I'm reading through April's, I was like, on May, I'm like, oh my God, everything is just happening like it's all written down. I know this is perfect timing. So that's really a really good guide to just keep going back and checking on with. For my team, I've basically almost got everybody on a call and just noticing the difference in them. So Lynn has had her call and then that's just elevated her to the next level. Melody's had hers, and that's everything is just going, it's made everything like super fast for them. And although like in our business, there's lots of self-development, this is just like next level, and it's just pushed them past, and it's almost like it's given them extra confidence as well. So that's been a huge thing. And then we will be doing a team call for sure. Now that I've landed back in Australia.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Verity, for joining us and sharing that with us. I know you got to run, but I appreciate your kind words. And it's been an absolute honor and a pleasure to be able to serve the ladies in your family, because these people they're spiritually connected. They're bosses in the making. They're already powerful entrepreneurs, and you're growing like a legion of powerful, spiritually conscious entrepreneurs in your field. So when we do your group huddle, it's going to feel really good. It's going to feel like we made it, we did this, and they're not waiting. They're like, I'm not waiting for that group call. I'm booking it with Bobby anyway. So it's going to be super powerful to see what happens next for you guys. But thank you so much for sharing that with us. Just before you go, I just want to let everybody know that because you guys were here, because you guys shared a bit of your story, I got a free gift for each and every one of you guys. It's a full-on written report. So Verity's like, oh man, this stuff is really crazy. You got to get in with this. you may be thinking, I'm going to keep that one for myself later, or you can gift it to someone in your team, friend, family member, one of your kids. But so Verity, let me know, message me, all of you guys, message me with the person you want me to gift it to, or if it's yours, just let me know when your report ends, and I'll give you an extension on that to make sure that you have the next year forecast, because 2020 is going to be nuts. Nothing wrong with 2019 or anything, but like 2020 is when we really separate the women from the ladies. You know what I'm saying? The women from the girls. Like, there's going to be power in that. So thank you so much, Verity. I appreciate you for joining us.
Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy.
Cool. Okay, so let's bring out Julie. So Julie, if you don't mind, you can unmute yourself. Sally, I'm sorry, working, driving, we'll message you. Okay, cool. Sally, well, you can't message me unless you say something. So if you can later, it's all good. But otherwise, I do this all the time. So if you do come back later, would love to have you share and showcase your story. These are timestamps for you guys. In a year from now, you're going to look back at this, or 6 months from now, you're going to grow from this. And it's going to be a powerful way to look back and be like, dang, I grew. I'm not in the same vibe or same place I was before. So don't worry, Sally, if you can't cut it now, we will absolutely connect when we can. But Julie, you've unmuted yourself. So Julie came into my business at a very interesting point. To get into it, like as Craig said, it became this crazy superstar, no big deal. It's kind of expensive to work with me. I get it. But the reality is that I started getting into group sessions. I started getting into group environments. Craig put together a group of entrepreneurs in front of it. It was nuts. Craig, that session was super powerful. It wasn't even everybody in your team. It was just people that all wanted to get a part of this. So Julie came into my life this way. So she came in as a group attendee. She got the crash course in numerology. We picked a name in front of her, in front of everybody. So Julie, the one thing you're more than welcome to share your experience, what it made you feel, how you got from this, and where you are now, and what it means for you. I'd love to hear that. But what I really want to share, or I want to hear from you, is what was the group dynamic like? And I get it, you haven't had your personal session yet, but like, what was it like to be in a group setting, learning this stuff with a bunch of people?
Oh, it was really good because, well, I guess it had a lot of information all together, right? And it wasn't just my information; it was everybody else's information. So it kind of gave, like, every time you go on to somebody different, it gave a new idea of what the whole purpose of it all was, right? So it kind of made a lot of sense. But when I got my biggest scare of it all, I guess, is when I opened up my report. And then I'm like, oh, so my husband's like sitting beside me because I print it out. I hate reading off my phone. I like to print out stuff and just read it off paper. So I'm like, oh, how did he even know that? How did he even know? And you know what's funny is that I was like, there was one time it said emotional stress, and I was like, nobody's gonna die. Everybody's gonna be fine, you know, right? But my neighbor passed away in her house on that day. So it kind of make you like realize, like, at first I was like, you know, it's like the only place I ever had like numerology before, because like I'm all new to this online business and I'm all new to this like self-growth and self-development and self-awareness and all that kind of stuff, right? So, but I do see some changes since I changed my name, I changed my stuff. Now I'm gonna change my emails and all my other stuff, but I'm starting to see more changes. Like, my energy is better, but at first I thought it was just like, can't be that bad. It can't be that accurate. Because I don't know, like, I do like the spiritual side of it, but I don't think I was explained ever like properly what the whole like universe, like numbers and gratitude and all that thing together. And it makes complete sense. Like, it blows me away every day. Right? I not 100% full, like, perfect practice it, but I'm working towards it, like, more and more and more and more. And then I lost my train of thought.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much for sharing that. And honestly, like, you pulled on a really strong string there. You do what you can. Every single day you do the little bit that you can, and you gain momentum, you gain more power. Every more day, we're more and more powerful than the last. Hey, some days you're going to take 10 steps back, and you're going to be like, God damn it, I was just going good. And then, yeah, exactly. You still made that 20 steps. you still actually covered that ground. So every day learning is a day growing, in my opinion. But I seen a change in you. From the first time that we saw each other, you have been growing more into your power. The smile's gotten bigger. The energy and the confidence is getting bigger. The expression is getting bigger. And it could take you like almost 3 years, like it took me to get over my own shadow. Your life wasn't built in a day. It took you 9 months to get here. And I would imagine that great things take time. You stick in with this business, you stick in, and then by this business, I mean the business of loving and investing in yourself, and it will absolutely promote. And you got really cute kids. So obviously that's motivation enough to be like, I got to do something about them and about this and help them get to the
I got to. Otherwise, it's 4 little rugrats I'm throwing in the universe.
You got 4 kids too.
I got 4. I got a boy, a girl, a boy, a girl. And I've got one with ADHD and ODD severe. And
That's
yeah.
me.
Nice. My little man, if I could give you any advice, it's that this world wasn't built fast enough for you, okay? So that ADHD stuff, like it's just what they tell you when they're too slow to figure you out. And I get it. And Mom's doing more than the best.
In the box. And you want to hear something funny? Is that, you know, like since I started this online business, I hear everybody saying that everybody fits to be the same person, right? Everybody tries to be their unique person, which that's what we're pretty much meant to be, right? But then you have the system, like the school and everything, where everybody fits in that one box. Well, when I went in the first time I took my son in, we were living in Quebec, and I took him in for a pediatric appointment to see if we could get medication because he was kicked out of school and they weren't going to take him. And so we played around and stuff with it. And then we ended up not getting the medication because the way he explained it is he took a little Post-it and drew a square on it. And then he put an S on it. And then he said, this is the school. And then when the kids can't regulate like everybody and they're off the norm and they're not on the path that everybody else is on, so he drew a little circle on the side. He says that's where they put the kids. And it made complete sense because, well, I live in Alberta now, which they have like the funding and stuff to help him out in like different ways. Because like we've seen this psychiatric, and then it went from like putting him on the side, we're not going to do anything with him because it's just how life is ever going to be, to we're pulling him out of meds in a year from now.
Wow.
You know? Awesome. But yeah, it just kind of made me thought of that. So let's throw that in there.
Honestly, like having a report for him or to know his birthday, it will be the most valuable information you ever have as a parent.
Yes, I gotta do this because you know what? He was born on the 6th month, 6 pound 6. So we always called him our devil child.
Oh God, you don't do that. Anyways, correct that behavior. But I'll tell you something, that when you get a free report for me, give me your little boy's name and birthday. I'm going to give it to you properly so that you can absolutely. And you said 2000. You said he's born when? 2006?
No, he was born in 2008, but the 6th month he was 6 pound 6.
Oh,
so.
Cool. Okay, so it's better than the numerology version, which is like June 2004 or like something weird where all the numbers look at 6. But we'll absolutely give you the most powerful thing you can ever have for him, which is an instruction manual. Because my little girl is the same thing, hyperactive. She doesn't want to take instruction, doesn't want to listen. And I'm just like, all right. And then my father-in-law was like, you got to put her on the drugs. And I'm like, no. And so, like, you know, it was one of those realities where I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to grow enough to support my daughter. And, you know, whether it means you move provinces or get the special funding or help, I admire you for doing that. And to really, like, pull them off the meds in a year is a wonderful feeling.
Well, we're trying to look into, like, because I found different, like, natural ways of, like, it's never going to cure it, right? Because, like, what happened with Nicholas is when he was little, he had like massive seizures. And then it just kind of slowed down the process, and then part of your brain doesn't develop as fast as the other ones, right?
Right.
So that's pretty much what had happened. But then it was to a point where it was like, it was bad. When you're 5-year-old, you got to call the cops because you can't even contain him. Like, it was really bad. And then we put him on the meds when he turned 8. So that's when I had enough. I was like, I have enough. I have enough of the teacher calling me every day. I have enough of the school calling me every day. I have enough of you filling up the kids' dresser with a bunch of snow, and like always like over and over. And then we tried it out for a while. But then the thing is, okay, now the meds are helping like really good. They're helping really good at school, but he gets these pinches in his heart every now and then. His feet, like, you know how your health goes by your skin, right? His feet skin is all dried out, like always. But then every time you go to the doctors, they tell you that there's nothing wrong. It's going to be okay. It's going to get used to it. But then I'm not willing. Like I took that road to give me ease because I have 4 kids. So I got to have a break somewhere.
Mhm.
But it's not my forever
I hear
option.
you. And you're doing an absolutely amazing job. It seems like you've got a really powerful, young, bright spirit. And knowing where his numbers lay, like when I see my little girl and she's got adult numbers as a child, she's not going to want to sit inside of a classroom taking instruction from everyone else. She wants to have fun, but she doesn't want to listen. And I'm like, I'm not going to get mad at her for that because I understand that this is the type of person she is. So I'm so looking forward to that. And I thank you so much for your testimony about how this affected you and how you pulled clarity from this. It's really, really powerful. Looking forward absolutely to working with you privately, Julie.
Thanks, Bobby.
Cool. Thank you so much. Message me for your gift, okay? How about Marilyn? I know Marilyn, she came into my last session while I was still in it, and she's like, and I'm like, quickly, get out of here. Just give me 5 minutes. And, she did, but I appreciate you, Marilyn, for that. Thank you so much for joining us. We got another Canadian in the house, and we're super blessed to have you here. Since there's too much of this Australian stuff going on, it's like a flu, like an Australian bug. And you know the Australian bug's like this big. Nah, I'm just kidding. Most of my clan is out there. So actually, to see this, I'm like, hey, listen, Candice, me, Sally, Marilyn, Julie, we all Canadians up in here. So I'm super blessed to have my Canadians showing up for this. Julie's addicted to their accent. Yeah, me too. And like, there's like, g'day, mate, and like, fuck off, everything. And they're just like, how you going? Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Awesome. And then they're all saying to me like, oh, your baby's so gorgeous. And I'm like, yes, he's very gorgeous. So I'm super blessed to have you, Marilyn. If you're with us, you're with us. If you are,
yep.
You brought your little girl with you too. Congratulations on Student of the Week, young lady. That was awesome. The look in your face is priceless. You're like, what this is. You remind me of my little girl, and you also remind me a lot of your mama. Absolutely. It's like a little movie right here.
Energy.
So, Marilyn, let's start off with this. You have a name that's naturally balanced through, I think it's through marriage, or no? It's your original last name.
Purcell is my original, and Hall is what yeah.
So you don't need an initial. You got one of the readings that was like, I'm going to explain to you how this works. And there, you could take a letter if you want, but the name you need is authentic. It works. It's got a godlike power to create for others. So we like the vibe here. Please tell us a little bit about your experience working with me once, twice. How many times have we've gotten a chance to chat now? Would love to hear your words and your thoughts on this.
Yeah, well, first of all, I love and appreciate you guys. Like, my goodness. And it's weird how it happens or how it goes, right? Like, holy man. So I think this is our, fourth one together or something? Yes. Or that I've jumped on here now? I don't know. I was like jumping everybody's meetings.
It's the fourth one. The fourth one.
Okay. So we, like the first time it was nuts because it was, when I got my reading, it was crazy because I started looking at it and then looking at like my life path and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, holy shit, this is legit. Like, this is me to a T. And then we did the second one, and it was like the same thing. Just like we did the name for the business or because I was going to do the one, and then I completely, my numbers, it's how it is. I'm all over the place. So then I went a totally different direction. And we started a clothing company. So we got that going, and then it just but since the first time that stop playing with my hair, girls, goodness. So then we, after I started that, I started working on personal development after the first time that I had my thing with you. And so it took personal development, really got into the whole self-love and getting back to myself and what I stand for and what I am. And then it's just crazy how it all connects together, because then jumping on this, the whole Craig talking was just crazy, because I was like, holy man, like it brings me back to 2011, and because I never talk about it, and I was paralyzed in 2011 for 6 months, and they said I would never walk again, and that's just life, get used to it. But then, like what Craig was saying with the energy and your vibrations and stuff like that, it's everybody's connected, and the universe will pull you into certain things, and then you just were constantly on my Facebook all the time. I was like, I've got to connect with Bobby because there's a reason for this, right? Like totally a reason why I've got to connect with you. And so then I since then it was just all this personal development and all this stuff, and it was like my reading was you need to that I needed to like grow into myself and who I am and use my voice and get out there. And I was like, okay, so started taking personal development, started to learn to, okay, I can use my voice and say how I feel and stop holding everything in, because I'm that type of person. My numbers were, I just hold in emotions. And then I just all of a sudden will outburst, and then I'm an emotional mess for however long. And then it's like, okay, contain yourself. What the hell is wrong with you? And then I got to pull back and think, okay, let's refocus. And then I start going off to something else. But now it's since the last time, because I think it was like two weeks ago we did that group one, and that was amazing, listening to everybody else's stories and stuff. And then that same night that we had it, my grandma had passed away that night, and it was just weird how it all ties together, because we had went and spent a week with her, because I always had this, like, I always know, it's just weird, because when my grandpa died, I knew he was going to die, and I was the only one there when he died. And so I had to explain to my grandma, like, he passed away. And then when my grandma was sick, we're like, okay, we need to go down and see her. So we went down, we spent a week down there, and I got a hold of my dad and told him, like, you need to get down here, because I will not be the only person in this room when she passes away and have to tell somebody else in the family she passed away. I'm not doing that again. So it was really good, the sessions that we've had, because it makes you grow as a person, to learn your numbers and to understand them and understand your report. And I've read my report over and over and over, and like my whole my life paths and everything. And it's nuts, because your life paths from the age of like 20 to 30, and then 30 to 35, and then 35 to 40, and I'm in the 35 to 40 range now. And I'm like, holy man, like, this is, everything is tying together, and it all makes complete sense. And this is the time where I really need to get focused, and I could feel that shift, and I could start to feel that shift even back 6 months ago. I could feel the shift and changing, and trying to figure out what I really wanted to do, and learning to use my voice, and learning to get what I went through out. And I was like, hey, it's okay to talk about it, because I've never wanted to talk about it, because I was like, I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me. I don't want people to be like, oh, we're so sorry that you ended up with this disease or whatever, right? So it's a big step. And I noticed that coming out with it and telling people, like, it's okay. Like, doctors tried to push the medications on me for years, and my doctor, I even got an apology from him, which was huge. And he even said, like, I'm so sorry I have pushed this medication on you for so long, because you seem to understand what this is, and you can control it. And I can control it. I learned, well, I had to see a doctor in the States, but I learned that it all boils down to food, what you eat, mentally, emotionally, your energies around you, and your vibrations. And then I started getting into the energy healing and the whole, because then I wanted to seek it out and be like, okay, I know that I can get rid of this, and I can cure myself of this by food, but what else is out there that could go by, right? So then I started, I took my Reiki level 1 and level 2. And then I got really into the whole energies and the, go ask your dad. So then I got really far into it, and it's just amazing, right? Like the whole how the universe draws people to you, and everybody on these calls, the more I'm on them with you, and the more that I'm in these group sessions, it's like the more people all of a sudden get drawn. I find I'm attracting more of these people, right? And like just listening to Craig, I was like, holy shit, like this is intense, because it's all vibration, and it's all the universe and the energies, and you can 100% heal yourself. And by knowing now, like, what my life path is and where I'm supposed to be, and really digging into it in the last week, I was like, okay, we have a clothing line, and I'm going to stick with that because this is going to fund other things, right? Like, it's going to be my source of income to fund other areas of our life. And now I'm like, okay, now I want to get out there and help people. And I think I even said that in the last one. I was like, that was the whole purpose of having the clothing line, was to help other people, but I didn't really know how. And now I'm like, okay, I know. It's almost like I know what my purpose is now, and what my path and what my goal is, and it's to help other people overcome things. And just because a doctor wants to label you, well, you have multiple sclerosis, you'll never walk again in your life. I proved them wrong. It took me 6 months, but I slowly started to be able to walk again and feed myself and be able to pour the kids their milk and hold a jug of milk to pour it into their bottles. And then and stress, like, even in my numbers, I'm a big stress holder, and I tend to stress out over things, and it can be the stupidest little thing, and in my numbers I tend to stress. But now that I had it in that report that I did with you, and seeing it physically on paper, I'm like, okay, where are you going to shift this? Because it's here. It nailed it to a T. It nailed me right down to a T. Everything from my personality, the way that I think, and the way that I hold things in. I got to learn to release that. I have to learn to harness my stresses and put it somewhere else, because it is very easy to go to food or to run to something to be like, okay, I'm stressed out. I was a stress eater forever. Still sort of am. I'm like, okay, I'm bored. What am I going to stuff my face with, right? Like, I'm going to eat something good. That's not good.
Story of my life. Story of my life.
You know, yeah, something that you think is good, but then that boils back to your subconscious, right? Your subconscious is telling you, oh, it's okay, you can have that bag of chips. What's that going to do? Just eat that and you'll feel better, right? And then you eat it and you're like, oh, it feels so good. But then like 10 minutes later, you're like, oh, you piece of shit, why'd you eat that? You know, like, and it's so it's such a tough scale, but man, it's just, I don't know, every time I go on these, I'm like, yes, I get more information, I get more out of it. And then you meet more people, and it's like, hey, I can expand, I can reach out to this person now, and I can, so don't be surprised, Craig, if I reach out to you. But, you know, like, all these different areas and all these different things, and it all ties together. So I appreciate you, Bobby, because it's, if it wasn't for your stuff constantly all of a sudden in my face, I would have forgot all about it, right? And not have been like, okay, yeah, whatever. I did the one reading, that's good enough. But I 100%, the more you do with you, the more knowledge you get, and the more you get out of it. Like, there's so much more to your numbers and your name and it's crazy, absolutely crazy.
Is this it?
I appreciate you for that. That's amazing. And you know what, to be honest, Craig's saying there's always more, and it's true. It's funny how I think the true reason why you could start walking again is because the doctor told you couldn't. And if you know this goes to chart, you can't tell her she can't do something because she's just going to do it then. And that feeling was just like, no. And 6 months, I'm like, that's a little time. That's not a lot of time. That's like a lot. Maybe for you, that's a long time because you're like, man, 6 minutes, I can't keep my attention span. But to have that thing like taken care of, it's very, very powerful. Julie's saying, powerful story. Thank you for sharing. I'll be fair. I think you're going to help a lot of people who feel like that experience for them is the end of the road, and the doctor just told them this, and now they're like doomed. And if they by chance see you, and I remember you're not the same woman that you were when we first met. You've grown a lot. You've grown through stuff. And it's just that feeling to think, yes, thank you. I uncovered a powerful gem. This woman's going to help people when she continues to move forward. So thank you so much for sharing your story. And to all of you guys, I was going to go to the next Sally, but she booked it. So she couldn't make it. She's working. But guys, I want to just express a lot of gratitude for you guys because you've just helped a lot of people. Like inside of numbers, there's 9. Okay. So just in case you forgot count, before you get to 10 again, there's 9 numbers and they show up in 30 different spaces in your chart. So, and it's funny when Craig does this, he says the most profound shit, like it's no big deal. And he's like, Yeah, no big deal. Just like, just change your vibration. And I'm like, and like, you know, it's so profound. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, man, you are gold. And everyone's recognizing it. Everyone else is saying it too. Like, I'm not alone. And we can feel it. That feeling to think that yes, there is chance for you. But then on my realm, I'm like, I deal with thousands of people so far climbing, and I'm like, there's only like a few types of people. There's a few types of ingredients. There's only a few colors, but from that rainbow of 7 or 8 colors is millions and millions of high definition, different shades. You know, there's more than 50 shades of gray out there, okay? Like there's a value of like infinity that shows up inside of vibration, and you guys get a chance to choose every day, especially those of you who have a number now, and you have a value that in front of you that says, look, I've chosen this path, is to think that this is super powerful. So I want to respect everyone's time. I know I wanted to keep this under 2 hours. If anybody's got any questions, if anybody has anything they want to say, I would open this question to everyone, and whoever wants to jump in can. You can unmute yourself. The question really is, what would you say, and it'd be nice if everyone mentioned something. Keep it short, 2 minutes, under 2 minutes. What would you say to someone who's been like this and like, oh, I got to book in with Bobby and I've got to find out my numbers? What advice would you guys give them? And if you guys, we want to start just in order. Anybody who wants to unmute yourself, 3, 2, 1, someone go. If you're not, then I'm going to start volunteering. Marilyn. Okay, Marilyn and Julie.
For anybody that's on the fence about it, just jump in and do it, because it is probably the most important and best thing you'll ever do for yourself, to know your numbers and know your name and know that, okay, your name isn't working for you, so change something in it. And like you say, something as little as a letter in your middle name. Do it. Just jump in and do it. And I mean, really, when it comes down to it, it's only money. So what, you know, like spend it to learn that, to learn what you can do for yourself and how you can better yourself.
Thank you. Words of confidence. I love it. I feel it. Okay, Julie, how about you? You're next. If you want to unmute, I'd love to hear what you have to offer us. 1 2 minutes. What would you say to someone who's sitting on the fence, or maybe even in this case, who someone's like, I can't do this right now? What would you tell them?
I would tell them to do like I did, stop drinking coffee at Tim Hortons for a while. You wouldn't believe how much money you spend right there. But yeah, I would like exactly like Marilyn said, like just the fact of knowing like how your name works and how your number works regarding to your birthday, your life path, and where your energy stands. It makes a good point of where you're going at, right? Because like, yeah, I did look at myself and stuff like this, but as I read the report and then I keep going back on it, and I keep going back in it, and I keep going back in it, and every time I go back in it, I see it as something different. I see it as something like, at first I would be like, oh, dead in the family, I'm gonna have to travel. Oh, this guy's gonna die. you know. So at first I was like, oh my gosh, you know, you take it at a certain level, but then I'm listening to you live, and then I'm listening to what you tell other people, and I'm listening to what you tell like what you told people like in the group, like to everybody one after the other and stuff like this. And then now I kind of look at it like in a different set of mind. Now I can look at it and be like, okay, this emotional stress, not somebody that's gonna die, you know. It could be something that I really like that broke that day, or, you know, something that I really loved that I lost that day. And it does really open up your mind to more than just like your alignment. Like your alignment is like 99.9% of it. Well, maybe 95% of it. But then you got that 5% where, you know, you kind of, I lost my train of thought there too. Gosh, I do this all the time. It's like I get so carried away. I'm like, I got this big thing, so I'm gonna, and then I get so going in it, I create another one.
That happens to me all the time. It's how I live my life. Okay, I'm one distraction, a squirrel. So I get what you're going through. It happens all the time. We're okay. And I appreciate that vote of confidence, and I appreciate that a lot. If you do find the train of thought, come back to us. Okay. All right, so I had Tanis unmute herself as well. Tanis, if you're going to give someone advice about whether or not they should take the journey into numerology, what would you say to them?
Priceless. That's all I can say. To to be able to have an inside look at who you are and where you've come from and where you're going is the most amazing gift you can have. And it opens up so many doors and opportunities in your life to see how life can turn out for you, to see how you can be finding areas of focus and growing as a person. I couldn't ask anyone not to find a way to do it. And if you don't have a way, you need to look for a way, because this is something that I believe everyone should have in their life, is a guide to see within.
Well, thank you. That was profound. That's a lot. That's a lot to take. I appreciate that a lot. Thank you for assuming me into the guide position. But
No, yeah, it's what you gave me was very profound. It was very eye-opening, and it was like I don't know how to explain it. It was like you held me, you cradled me and walked me through something. And I'm so forever grateful.
And you as well, my sister. I appreciate you so much for that. Craig, any last thoughts, my friend?
I think you just muted yourself, Bobby.
Thanks. I meant to say if you had anything else, then I would love to hear it from you as well.
It's probably the first time I've ever seen you speechless, actually, but you had to mute yourself to get it to happen. But, it all comes down to self-worth. You know, like I was saying earlier, we're either in a state of contraction or expansion. So if you're feeling that state of contraction, you're feeling like the heaviness, you're feeling the sluggishness, you're feeling stuck, you're feeling capped, you're feeling limited, you're feeling lost. That's all contraction. The act of rewriting your subconscious self-worth is literally showing the universe that that's not how you want it to be anymore, and literally just making a decision. You know, some of us are in these businesses and stuff where people sit on the fence and we curse them, you know, oh, get off the fence, just make a choice, just make a choice. The reality is that we lose track of the fact that even the fact that those people got on the fence might have been a massive achievement for those people. If you have no self-worth, if you don't believe that you have any deserve in the world, even getting on the fence meant that you actually claimed something for yourself just for a moment even. So the next level then is to start to rewrite those subconscious self-limiting beliefs. And you start to say, I'm ready. This is not how my life is. This is not the pattern of my life. I'm making a choice. And we do that by literally putting plans into action and taking steps wherever we can. You know, Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, you know, the old notion of cause and effect, you know, and we've talked about it too, you know, where people think life is happening to me. I don't have any choice in it. Tanner said it as well. But Dr. Joe talks about flipping it around and looking at cause for effect. So you look at what you are doing to actually get the end result that you do want. If you're in contraction, it means you're not happy with something about your life. You can either sit there and hope that something happens accidentally. Oh, divine timing, when it's meant to happen, it'll happen. You just gave all your power away to chance, to fluke, to randomness, instead of realizing that you are actually the sovereign of your own freaking life. You can decide this. You can reorganize the energy field around you so the universe has to start to line up the life that you were always meant to have on a deep core level, on a universal level. And if we alter our name to make that happen even faster, we are causing for effect. We are having power. We're claiming, we're standing in our power. This is it. Enough. I'm standing. This is where I'm standing. and I give myself permission to grow, and I have worth, and I have purpose in the world beyond what I already know where I feel shit. And I give myself permission to do that, and I'm choosing it right now.
I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate those little words so much. There's a lot of wisdom in there that just bleeds through you, and I'm so blessed to have you inside of my leagues. Which brings me to a really powerful point. I just wanted to mention this. Craig and I are conspiring to work together. Okay, we're conspiring to help people together, like, you know, like, we're going to take over the world. And I would invite all of you to step into that spaceship. If there's an opportunity for us to affect more people, to help more people, I'm going to post this replay, share it with others, let people know that you've taken a stand the way that Craig has, the way that Tanis has, Marilyn, Julie, myself, and my Sally, absolutely. I want to do this more. I want to do this more. And you guys did me a really big one today. You did a really big service today by being here for my premier Numerology alumni session. I'm going to do this once a month. You guys are out, and next month, maybe you won't make it. Maybe you will. Maybe there'll be more of your team here. Maybe there won't. You can share your story again. You can share your growth and let people know what's going on with you now, what's going on next. I want to showcase your leadership. I want to showcase your power and your value. And I appreciate you guys so much for taking the time out of your nights. You guys have families. We all have kids. You know, there's all this value of us like doing this like as a family business. You guys have entered yourselves into my family, into the Hall of Fame of my existence. And I hope you guys go to sleep understanding that you weren't just a client, you weren't just a customer, you were a catalyst inside of my life as well, and you will be in front of for other people as well. So thank you guys so much. People are writing stuff here. Thank you, Bobby, for this group and all you do. You got it, Tanis. Bang. What's up? I will get notes for next time. Julie says, absolutely. Will you watch the replay? It'll be there for you. Craig says, you are more than enough and have the ability and the right to expand well beyond that. And because of what he's done for my life, I absolutely have to agree with you, Craig. I absolutely have to agree with you. So I appreciate you guys. We're going to cut it out here at 90 minutes. Thank you, thank you, thank you a million times. Please message me with the person, or here's the gift. A choice of either a 15-minute, $88 extension to your reading, whichever one you book, or if you're like, Bobby, I don't need to see you again, you can pass that discount on to a friend, family member, or someone in your life. If you want them to book a session, I will extend it by 15 minutes, or I will give you a written report, either for yourself, for your future, or for someone that you want. So let me know who it is, what it is, how it's going to be. Whatever you guys need, it's yours, okay? So I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you guys, everyone, once again. I will see you guys very, very soon. And if you don't mind, hey, you were on social media, you were here tonight. If you're on your social media, just letting people know, whether it be a screenshot or a link post, my website, bobbyfperihar.xyz. I appreciate everybody and all the referrals. Let's help everybody get to this information. I'm just going to take a quick picture here. So if you guys want to, do something funny or you want to just pose for it, I'm just going to take a quick pic so that we have it. We all knew that we were here. And this is a history moment in my career and in my organization that you guys were all part of. So I appreciate you guys. I hope that you guys feel really super solid with that and that you guys get to take that knowing that, yeah, I helped Bobby build his business because you absolutely did tonight. So thanks, guys. Thank you again. I will see you guys very soon, all individually. Have a great night, a great day, or as the Australians say, g'day. G'day, mate. All right, we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.